Hi everybody, it's Brian here. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. So I wanted to share some thoughts based on a question that I asked on my Instagram and the Facebook groups that I participate and contribute to over these past couple of days. Basically, I had asked a very simple question: what pain points really affect you with respect to your print-on-demand business? And there were two very, very important themes that came out through all of the various answers that I received, the replies that I received. And again, for those of you who did reply to those questions, thank you very much for participating. It really opened my eyes to something which I feel is very consistent and a great many of you probably feel, even those of you who may not have actually answered, the question that I had posed. And basically, I'm just going to talk very, very briefly about what these two pain points were and offer you my suggestions in terms of ways of overcoming them. A lot of you who actually answered the question, after looking at your shops, I noticed that many of you are relatively new to the print-on-demand industry, and it is something which is really common. A lot of people experience this. I myself even experienced it when I first started out. I don't really think there's anybody who could say they didn't feel either of these two pain points at one point in time in their print-on-demand career. So hopefully this particular episode will help you to overcome whatever concerns, whatever pain points that you're feeling about these two particular aspects of print-on-demand, and hopefully keep you on the right track to obviously growing your business and reaching a higher degree of success. So if you're interested in learning what these two pain points were, there's only one thing left to do, and that's just to say, let's get to it. Now, before we start with today's episode, the fact that you are obviously here means you're interested in all things pertaining to print-on-demand. And for that, I want to say thank you wholeheartedly for taking the time out of your busy day to sit down and watch this episode. If you're new to this channel, welcome. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell notification icon so that you'll be informed each and every time that I upload a new video to my channel. For those of you who have subscribed, thank you for being part of this community. I really appreciate each and every one of you. I'm here to serve you and give you the best that I can give in order to help you achieve more success with your own business. And with that said, let's start with today's discussion. Okay, so the first point that was really pertinent and really came across pertained to time management. Okay, I got a lot of comments where people were saying, I just don't know how I'm going to accomplish everything. There's just so much to do with respect to the print-on-demand. This really didn't come across to me when I was actually seeing, various people talk about print-on-demand and all of the wonderful aspects and how easy it is to make money and whatnot. And yes, that is a very important hook in terms of people being encouraged to get into the print-on-demand industry. There is a very low barrier of entry, but the sad truth is that it's not readily discussed in terms of what the print-on-demand industry actually entails. It isn't just enough to come up with a design, place it on a mock-up, upload it to a print-on-demand platform, and put it up for sale in the hopes that, you're going to rake in millions of dollars. In fact, there is a lot that has to go in with respect to the print-on-demand industry. In fact, a lot of people are actually thinking, goodness me, I have to do everything from A to Z, because many of us, myself included, are a one-man business. You are actually trying to do everything, obviously in the hopes of curtailing your costs, keeping them low, and obviously trying to keep, a good handlehold on the direction of your business in terms of which way you want it to go. And that's okay, but the flip side of it is that it can be very tiresome and it can be very, very frustrating as well, particularly if you find yourself uploading a lot, doing a lot of stuff for your print-on-demand business, but actually seeing, a low return in the form of sales. Now, the tips that I would actually offer are very, very easy to follow, but, very often we do tend to put them on the side and actually not give them the importance that they deserve. And the first thing is that, when you are sitting down doing something pertaining to your print-on-demand business, the first and foremost thing that I would highly recommend that you do is to get away from anything that's going to distract you. Turn off any form of distractions that might lead you to be distracted from doing what it is that you are there to do. And that's to focus on creating something wonderful for your print-on-demand business. Okay, and that also leads to turning off and restricting your access to social media for the time period that you are actually working on your business. You know, in this day and age, attention spans have been decreasing exponentially. We are always looking out for, instant gratification, things that are going to come quickly. We don't really want to invest a lot of time in getting things done. More often than not, we have ants in our pants. We just want to get it done and move on. And the sad truth is that because of the fact that we are so easily distracted by our mobile devices, obviously the access that we get to social media, it's very easy for us to come across maybe a little bit of a stumbling block in whatever it is that we're doing. And then we say, you know what, let me take a quick break and just check my social media accounts. And it'll only be for a minute. But the sad truth is a minute leads to 2, leads to 5, leads to 10, leads to half an hour. And then unfortunately, you go back to seeing what it is that you accomplished and you find that you didn't accomplish very much, which obviously leads to a lot of frustration. Okay, so it's really important that when you are actually at task, you restrict your access to social media and get rid of anything that can distract you, that can take your mind off what it is that you are doing. Also, furthermore, it's also important that you keep some kind of healthy snacks next to you. Stay away from the chocolates, the chips, junk food and whatnot. I've learned, obviously, the hard way, as many of you who've been following me as of late know, that I was recently in hospital. And it wasn't that because I was actually, focusing and binging on junk food or whatnot. But obviously that those extra bits of, candy bars and packets and stuff like that did not help. So instead, focus on keeping healthy snack foods next to you so that you can actually feed your body and fuel your mind. Because obviously, if you are tired, if your body is low on minerals, if it's low on calories, you're not going to be able to be as creative as you would hope to be. Your mind is going to start to wander. You're going to get very sluggish. And again, the time that you would have allocated yourself towards your business, or rather to your business, is going to obviously not bear a lot of fruit. And again, that frustration is going to come out again. So you want to make sure that you're fueling your body while you are in the creative process. Okay. And when you are actually at task, take a look at what it is that you want to do. What is it you want to accomplish within that hour, those 2 hours, those 3 hours, however time that you have available to you in order to create something for your business. See what it is that you have to do and then prioritize them. And what I would highly recommend that you do is that see which tasks you think are going to be easy to accomplish. That isn't going to take you a huge amount of time to accomplish those, and get those done first. Why? Because when you get those things done first, internally, you're going to start feeling a sense of accomplishment, and your body is going to start producing chemicals in your body that is going to make you feel good. That sense of accomplishment is going to give you the boost to actually dig into those tasks that are probably going to take a little bit more time than you were hoping for. But the fact that you're going in with already having something accomplished towards your business, you're going to go in with a lot more creativity, a lot more positivity, and you're probably going to focus a lot more on getting that task done because you know the good feelings that it's going to provide to you because of the fact that you've accomplished those low-hanging fruit type tasks. So try to obviously organize your tasks in a way that's going to allow you to get some things done very, very quickly. You're going to start feeling better about yourself, and that way your mind is actually going to focus more on what it is that you have to do, and you're going to get a lot more done within the time span that you have yourself allocated to. Now, finally, with respect to time management, I want to encourage you to set a certain amount of time for each task. Okay, so before you actually start doing anything, write down your tasks on a sheet of paper and then just write down how much time you think each task is going to obviously need to get accomplished. And for those larger tasks, set yourself a task of 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and put a timer on it. That might be the only time that will allow you to utilize your cell phone is to use the timer function on your mobile phone so that obviously it will ring at the end of the 25 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever time it is that you're going to be allocating for that particular task. When that alarm goes off, whether you're done or not, I want you to stop doing it. All right? I know probably you'll say, well, that's counterproductive. I'm going to feel frustrated at the fact that I didn't get it done. But don't worry about that. Okay? What we want to do here is we want to train your mind to focus on the task at hand. Now, if you still have some time, I want you to obviously choose another task, set yourself that time, and then obviously get to task on that. The following day, I want you to go back to the first task that you did not accomplish, say how much time that you think you would need to be able to accomplish it. Again, set your timer and get the task to doing it. Okay, the whole idea here is to train your mind so that when you are actually at task, over time, as your mind knows that you've got a set time to complete the task, you're going to focus a lot more on it. And you're going to work harder to accomplish that task within that stipulated amount of time. And over a number of days, as you continue to be consistent with keeping to a set time, your mind is going to be more focused. You're going to get better at actually creating and doing whatever it is the task is stipulating to do. And again, you're going to find that sense of accomplishment and you're going to be training yourself to stick to that task. So it's all about time management skills. Get rid of frustrations, get rid of your access to your social media, have those healthy snacks next to you, and actually set your tasks in a way that you're going to achieve a certain degree of success so that you'll have that positivity coursing through your body, and then set those times for each task so that you can get your mind focused on that. So with respect to the pain point pertaining to time management, I hope that the points stipulated in this first segment of the video will help you to achieve better success with your time management and obviously reach and achieve more. Okay, so the other pain point that was very consistent and came shining through in the answers to the question that I had posed pertained to marketing. Now, with respect to marketing, you have to ask yourself whether or not you're going to take the paid route or if you're going to try to obviously go the organic reach route. And probably many of you are probably saying right now, yeah, I want to go the organic reach route. And you know what? It's very understandable. The profit margins that are available to us in the print-on-demand industry is not that large. And as a result, given the price of running ads on various social media platforms, it can be rather costly, and obviously that would eat into any profit margins that we would have. And obviously, given the fact that many of us are either trying to, shoot for a full-time income with the print-on-demand industry, or maybe are trying to gain a little bit of, a side income to help supplement, a full-time or part-time job that you have, it's very understandable why you wouldn't want to eat into those profits. But with each decision, there are obviously pros and there are cons to it. Now, with respect to marketing on social media in terms of getting an organic reach, there have been those who actually feel that unless you are obviously on every single social media platform, you're not going to reach any kind of success. And here I want to caution each and every one of you who might be thinking that this is the only way that you can reach success. Okay, in this particular case, I would highly recommend against trying to be on every social media platform that is out there. Why? Because there's just so much to do for each and every platform. We've got different parameters for the types of content that we can post. We've got different limitations in terms of the text that we can actually put with the post. And trying to create content for multiple different platforms can be so time consuming. In addition to trying to find time to create your designs, trying to upload them to the respective print-on-demand platforms that you obviously, upload to, it can be so overwhelming that, that is a recipe for disaster because inevitably you will get burnt out. And if you're burnt out, you're no good to your business and your business unfortunately will fail. That is the hard truth to trying to be on every single social media platform. Instead, what I would invite you to do, and this is something that I do with my own, marketing, is just choose 2 or 3 platforms that you feel are close in proximity so that you can create content that can be shared very easily on those 3 platforms, on those 2 or 3 platforms, without having to make major changes to the content parameters and whatnot. So that's definitely the first thing that I would actually encourage you to do with respect to the whole marketing aspect for your print-on-demand business. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Now, I also did receive some, statements in the answers that I received pertaining to, how to go about marketing on these kind of platforms. Let's say, for example, Facebook, on Facebook groups where, you're not allowed to post links. You're not allowed to post those kind of buy me type of marketing campaigns. And, it is frustrating when there's that dreaded no promotion rule. on the one hand, you want to let the group members know about your designs, but on the other hand, you're not allowed to put these buy my stuff kind of posts. And that's obviously understandable. The thing you have to realize is that Facebook groups were not originally created for marketing purposes. They were there to obviously house a group of people who have the same beliefs, who have the same enjoyments, so that they can converse and obviously discuss about different points. It wasn't until obviously marketers realized the potential of jumping into these groups that say, we can start putting our posts and encouraging people to buy stuff from over there. And for a time, it did work. But then, people started getting wise about it. And people started getting actually frustrated that every time they would go into their Facebook group, all they would see are these obviously buy me type posts. And, admins of groups and the moderators started seeing that people were actually, getting frustrated with this. They were losing numbers. So obviously, these rules started coming up to protect the integrity of the group, to make sure that obviously people are there to enjoy what it is that the group was actually originally made to do, to discuss and obviously to make connections. Now, this does not mean that you cannot actually utilize Facebook groups to get your shop across, but you need to be a little bit more strategic with it. And for those of you who are not really ready to put in the work, then I have to obviously tell you that, you're bound to fail from the get-go. If you are going to try and start putting up these buy me type of posts, you are going to lead to nowhere very, very fast. Remember, people have become very, very accustomed. People have become very immune to these type of posts and will just scroll right by whenever they see it. And, unless it's an absolutely amazing design, which, obviously we all hope that people will actually consider, more often than not, people just don't want to see these kinds of posts. So how can you get around this? What can you do in order to keep to the rules of the group, but obviously still get the point across that, hey, I've got designs that I have on these print-on-demand platforms that might be of interest to you, so why not check them out? Okay, so the first thing that you need to do is you need to actually put that aspect in your mind that you want to put these buy me type posts on the back burner. You want to throw it away and get rid of it. You're not going to get anywhere fast with that type of thinking. Instead, you need to say to yourself, okay, if I'm in a Facebook group pertaining to cats, for example, all right, I am not going to come straight out and say, here, I've got this cat design, buy it. What you need to do is you need to join in the conversations. You need to put in posts that are absolutely non-salesy, okay? You don't want to come across as trying to sell anything. Instead, provide value. Now you might say to yourself, well, Brian, I've got so much to do now, I have to also do this too as well. But yeah, the whole point of this is that you want to make sales. You want to actually try and gain people's trust in you, people's confidence in you, that you are legit, that you're not there to just try to sell them something, but you are there to service them, okay? Basically, this is effectively what I did when I first started my print-on-demand YouTube channel. When I first started, nobody knew who I was, okay? And it was really difficult to start getting people to trust in the advice that I was giving. So what I did was I actually went and found these Facebook groups and I actually started providing value, okay? I did not come across stating, this is my YouTube channel, come and follow me over there. Instead, what I did was I actually started providing the tips that I wanted to provide on my YouTube channel for free in these groups, in little snippets. And over time, as I started doing this, people started to converse with me on the various posts that I actually uploaded. And people thanked me for the bits of advice. People then started asking me, listen, do you have a course? Do you have a channel? Where can I follow you? And it was at that moment when they started asking me that I started giving the links to my YouTube channel. And when that actually started happening, that's when I actually started to interject very sporadically posts about my YouTube channel. And here you need to think along those similar lines with respect to your designs. If you are designing something for cat lovers, give information about cats. Do some research. Find some interesting photos. There are a lot of stock photo agencies that you can take really wonderful pictures, photos of cats and put them up with little blurbs of information or whatnot. Nowadays, it doesn't take long to find interesting facts about cats. Maybe you're a cat lover yourself and you have a cat too as well that you can put photos up of it doing, cute, lovable things that cats do. But you want to get people to start trusting you and obviously realizing that you are there to contribute. And then when you start getting, engagement on your posts, that is the time when you can actually start inserting mockups, cat-related mockups with your designs on it. Okay, now what do I mean over here? You could use a platform like Placeit, which is a wonderful website to use that you can create designs on, you can create mockups. I've got a video about how to use Placeit. I'll put a link in the description box below. I'll put the thumbnail for the video up on the screen now so that you'll be able to know what it is that you're looking for. Go ahead, take a look at it. And if you're interested, there's some free resources on it that you can use. And if you enjoy using the free version, you could actually even consider taking a subscription. I've been using Placeit for years now. It is a wonderful resource to use. It has really expedited the amount of time that I have to spend on creating mockups. And you could go in and you could find cat-related mockups and then actually, post them in the Facebook group, but don't come across saying buy this or buy that. Just leave the design on the mockup and allow people to see it. You could continue obviously putting little blurbs and bits of information pertaining to cats with these posts, and people will start seeing that, hey, these are really interesting designs. And you might actually even get people obviously reaching out to you and asking you a little bit more about those designs. So again, you want to get them to reach out to you. And when they reach out to you, they have already established a certain degree of trust with you. And that's the moment that you could actually obviously offer the link to your particular shop in the comments field below. Remember, you don't want to put links in the description part, in the text part of your post, because most groups do not want those kind of promotional posts. But if somebody asks you for it, then obviously it's another story. I want to invite you to think back, and those of you who are quite young probably will not remember what it is that I'm going to be speaking about, but for those of you who are obviously, been around in, the 80s will remember, those Sears catalogs, those fashion magazines that you used to see when obviously you were waiting in a doctor's waiting room or a dentist's waiting room. And there would be these fashion magazines and you just flip through them because obviously you want to kill time. And you come across these, pages of models wearing different outfits. And again, there wouldn't be, a lot of information pertaining to the outfits. There would be interesting bits of pieces of information on the magazine itself, on the page itself, but then at the very bottom in very, very small text, you would see a listing of what items or what clothing items those models were wearing and obviously the prices related to. And then there would be a reference to the store from where these items can be purchased. So at the onset, when you look at the page, you're seeing the model obviously in a very natural environment, wearing the clothes. You've got your information, and then at the bottom, you've got more information specific about the items. So if you really were interested in, that's when you do that extra work to go and look at it. And here, I want to invite you to take the same tactic with respect to your posts when you are creating your mockups. Don't come across as saying, buy this or visit my shop. Instead, create a mockup with your design, put a nice caption on it, and then at the very bottom, embed it into the mockup itself. And you can do that in Canva. Just create your mockup, import it onto Canva, insert a text, and just type in the address to your Redbubble shop or your TeePublic shop or whatever print-on-demand platform that you utilize, okay? And having it embedded in the graphic, in the mockup, is going to be part and parcel of the whole content rather than putting the link in the post. And through this, in obviously providing value and content, and then every now and then inserting one of these types of posts, obviously the admins and the moderators are going to be a little bit more open to the idea of allowing such types of posts to go through because they know that you have been providing value to the group. So this is a very important tactic to consider when you're doing your social media marketing and you're trying to get that organic reach. Don't come across salesy, provide value, provide content, provide information that is going to be good for the group, and then every now and then insert a mock-up with your design on it and obviously a very small little piece of text at the bottom or somewhere on the content, on the graphic, that shows reference to your shop. And if people are really interested in learning more about it, they will visit it of their own accord. You don't have to worry about people saying, oh, you have to give them the link to click on it, because they won't. If they really like what they're seeing in the mockup, if they really like what they're seeing in the design, they will take those extra moments to take a look at what the address is, and they will open up a new tab in a browser and type the address to your shop and come and visit it. Okay, it's happened to me before. I have no doubt that it will happen to you too as well. Now, that was Facebook. Somebody also asked me about Instagram. Well, Instagram is not that far off from Facebook, okay? You don't want your post to come across as salesy, okay? As with all things pertaining to social media, you need to be social, and you need to be providing value, okay? So what is it that you can do? Well, very similarly to Facebook groups, you could create an Instagram account, again, pertaining to cats, and start posting things pertaining to cats, pictures about cats, and then add hashtags. You can easily research. Obviously, go into, on Instagram, you got that little magnifying glass where you can click on it in the search and just type in, hashtag cats and see what starts coming up. And then find those 6 or 7 groups that really have a large number of posts, and actually use those hashtags to post your content on there. The idea here is to build awareness, to get people to know about your account, to see the content that you're sharing. Go into those hashtags, see the different posts, check out the recent posts, and actually scroll through, leave likes, leave thoughtful comments. Don't just say, oh, really great, or that's really nice. Actually comment, put in a sensible comment for those posts. You might say, listen, I'm going to do that with about 10 posts per day. Maybe perhaps you're, having a snack in your kitchen and you're just browsing through and you want to type in a comment for 10 different posts that you really like. You'll find that, these account holders that you leave a comment on are so hungry for comments, because everybody knows that the more comments you get for your post, the better it is for the algorithm to share your post to other people. They're going to be really grateful. And when they're really grateful to you, they'll actually reply to you. And then again, you want to be social and say you're welcome. And that's when you might ask them, listen, I am trying to build, a following on my Instagram account. I'd really be honored, or it'd really be great if I could have you join my community. Can I provide you the link to my account? And more often than not, they will say yes. They'll be very happy to do so. For those who've been following me through Instagram, know that this is a tactic that basically, or rather a strategy that I do with many of you. I did not come across and tell you, hey guys, this is my YouTube channel. I want you to come and follow me straight away. No, I actually paid you a compliment. I actually visited your shop. I told you what it is that I liked, or I wished you all the best, all the success to it. And because of the fact that I was social with you and I didn't come across as saying, listen, this is my channel, I want you to come and follow it, many of you appreciated the fact that I took the time to pay you a compliment, to obviously give you a comment, and in turn, when I actually informed you about my YouTube channel and what it is that I was hoping to do through it, because I wanted to help each and every one of you to achieve a greater degree of success, you were all very willing and very open to receiving my link, and many of you, I think like 98% of those of you who replied to me, actually did subscribe to my channel. And again, I'm very grateful to having all of you in my YouTube community, and I'm hoping, and it's my belief that these videos that I'm actually uploading is providing you with a load of value. And this is what I want you to do with respect to your designs. It isn't a tactic that, was created yesterday. It's been around. Many people do it. You want to be social. Okay, you want to come across, you need to do the time, you need to be patient. Remember, this is a marathon, it's not a sprint. I know everybody wants to start raking in the money and making the sales, but guys, if you do it the wrong way, your shop is going to fail. But if you take the time, if you are patient, if you are methodical about it, if you're strategic about it, then you will reap the rewards in time. It will happen, it will come. This channel, now I checked before I started, I'm up to 2,108 subscribers. I did not even fathom that I would have this many subscribers a year ago. But because of the fact that I put the time in, because of the fact that I was social, because of the fact that I actually approached you as a human being through the social media platforms, my channel is growing. And because of the fact that it's growing, YouTube is also seeing the fact that I'm getting engagement, and it is also sharing my channel to people who I have yet to discover or have the pleasure of making their acquaintance through social media. And this is why and how I'm hoping that my channel will continue to grow. And I want to obviously say to you, use this tactic with respect to your own marketing, and you will reap the rewards. It may not happen in a month, it may not happen in 3 months' time, but eventually it will happen. And when it happens, you'll start being very, very happy about it. You'll get a new sense of direction, and you'll want to continue doing it because you know that it is a strategy, it is a tactic that will work and it will bear fruit. So I'm going to stop over here. I hope I've given you a lot to think about. I hope I've actually set you on the right track and maybe given you a little bit of inspiration and motivation with respect to how to go about marketing on platforms like Facebook and Instagram. And hey, you know, this can actually be easily applicable on other social media platforms too as well. I just gave these two as an example because effectively it's the two platforms in addition to Pinterest that I use. I don't use TikTok. I don't use any of the social media platforms that are out there. Not because I don't want to, I'd love to, but because of the fact that my time is limited and because of the fact that I discovered you on these platforms, then I know that there are going to be other people out there who I've yet to discover. So I'm focused on those. I'm committed on those, and I want to encourage you to do the same thing with respect to your print-on-demand business. So again, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please do me a favor. Click on that like button. It does wonders for the YouTube algorithm. And I want to say thank you in advance for everybody who has been following me and who will continue to follow me from this day onwards. But for today, that's all I've got. And as always, be safe, be well, be creative. Bye for now. Hey, if you enjoyed this video and you want to find out more ways that you can take your print-on-demand business to the next level, why don't you check out one of these 2 episodes I have over here. And don't forget to subscribe. Catch you in the next episode. Bye for now.